I have so much to show off. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I guess I need to start with the important thing. Yeah. Devlog tie. I started that as a joke originally, but now every time I have to start with devlog tie. Either way, as I said, I have done a lot of little things over the last week or so. If you don't know, I am pushing for this to be the 1.0 release of the mod, or in short, this update I want to be the first proper release of the mod, or at least its 120 version. It's 120 or 121, I can't remember. It's current Minecraft version. So I've been experimenting a lot. I've been adding a few things I've been wanting to do for a while. Some of them are kind of beta, kind of testy kind of stuff currently that might not even make it into the final thing. Some definitely will. So let's actually start getting into a few of them. First things first, I've recoded the way the effects work on armor. This might sound really weird and stupid until I explain it. Essentially, the way the armor worked before is it would apply the effect via the belt. So the belt would be applying the effect. Now, instead, I do it in the client event instead of the belt event. What this essentially means is the player would trigger the belt event, but anything that wasn't the player wouldn't trigger the belt event. Meaning that no mobs could trigger the effects off the belts. Essentially meaning, so when we added, for example, Kamen Rider Core, we would have to go in and directly code in the effects to make Core giant. For the Geigers, or I can't remember if Berba has an effect, but you kind of get the point. We would have to manually go in and edit a lot of these effects. But with the new code, the effects from the belt directly apply to any entity that now has the effects equipped. Now, currently I've restricted it, so only players and armor stands can trigger this. The idea is every mob will be able to trigger it. I've currently restricted it. The main reason is, as I said, we manually added it to a lot of mobs prior. We've got to go through and manually adjust every single one of these. For example, if a mob, we set up the attack damage and the resistance and the speed how we want it, and then we equip it with an armor that comes with speed boost, strength, and resistance. That mob has now just gone from being okay to, oh no, we are not going to be able to defeat that mob. So I've restricted it, but the plan is over the next couple of weeks to remove that restriction and manually go in and adjust every single mob. But currently you can see, yeah, this is pretty awesome. I've had to move Kuga from over there to over here because, yeah, even the flat effect now works on armor stands. It's pretty awesome. I love this thing. So there we go. That's the first thing, and that's the one of the big things. Literally, it's pretty big. I mean, over here you can see we've got Kamen Rider J just hanging out, being absolutely giant compared to the others. I love this. I think it adds so much more to the armor stands. As I said, it will be added to the mobs, but it means a lot more effort. Whilst I'm over here, previously, I think I showed off the fact that we've got the Another Riders back. They didn't have their belts. They now have their belts. Okay, let's get through all of these things pretty goddamn fast. I uploaded a short, was it over the weekend? Where I made amazing Gummy. If you're not up to date with Gav, it's a spoiler, so I won't go in too much. But yeah. Watch that short if you're interested. There will be a link up there. If I can do, I don't even know if I can do links up there for shorts. I can, it'll be up there, and if I can, it'll be on the end screen as well, because I put a lot of effort into that short and it's got nowhere near the amount of views as some of the others. It's got the comments, it's got the likes, everything is doing amazing on that one. It's not got the views, so if you're interested, please go and check it out. I would greatly appreciate it. So moving on, we've got a few more things for Gotchard. Elle has been busy and we have a few new forms. I don't know if I showed the fact that, what was it? Was it Platinum Gotchard was in last time? I think I did. But now we have Star Gotchard. I love this thing. It's so pointy. This is actually my first time seeing it since Elle came in and made the face 3D. At my request. Okay. Well, yes, this does now mean that we have every modern rider with a final form in. I consider final form starting with Cougar. You can make the argument that Stronger was the first final form, but I make the argument it's Cougar. It's modern rider. It's Cougar. We have all the final forms now, which I'm ecstatic. I mean, somebody needs to wake up and give us their final form. I mean, I know episode 1 hasn't aired yet, but give us the final form. Come on. Come on. I want to complete this. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Moving on. There are a few other things for Gotchard. I ain't going to load them all because that's going to take absolutely ages. You can go and test it all. But there is one thing I really want to show for Gav, Cougar, Agito, and Zets all have these as well. You know what? Seeing as I've got Zets over here, let me show you with the Zets belt. You remember that little particle thing I had going with Zets? Yeah, now we got proper particles, and I can set it up so it's different for every form. I could do this before, but I could never get the particles to change colour. I cracked the code though. Instead of trying to manually adjust the colours on stock Minecraft particles, I just add my own particles. Once that kind of went into my head, I was like, what can I do? What can I do? I mean, if I go over here, you can see realising copper. I added the lines. I think that looks absolutely amazing. If I deal with all this lag and just fly over here, this is my favourite one. This is my favourite one. Gav. Have I got shaders on? I've got shaders on, haven't I? Let me remove shaders. For some reason, Gav's particles look so much better without shaders on. I mean, look at that. That looks amazing. And if I just... Let's clear my belt. Let's grab Gav. Something else there I want to show off. But I'm doing this first. I did upload this in a short as well, if you are curious. I've been trying to do a lot more shorts just to show off stuff that I am working on, because I do think some of this is interesting. And whilst we're here, I'll grab the Gotchi pod. You could see the particles then. That looks amazing. Let me just finishing. Then we got punching Gummy. You can see I made it so it's just the blue particles for punching, just the orange for kicking. Crisps actually have little crisps flying off. I love it. I love it. And the Gotchi pod, I decided just to go insane with the particles. I think it's amazing. I'm slowly going to go through all the riders and add particles. As I said, Cougar currently has particles. Agito currently has particles. Zets currently has particles. Yes, I'm going to have to go through and add a bunch more colours. But I do want to get everyone to have particles, Some with custom, some with just the same one, just different colors. As I said, if I go over here, you can see these are the same particles, just different colors again. And I think that looks amazing. Please let me know what you think about that. Now, there was an experiment I did do. I was trying to look to see if I can animate the armor. Now, I'm going to play a video here. I'm going to put it on the screen. Just know this was a test. And I'm not going to add it to the mod because there was a lot of issues with it. But it does open up possibilities for adding other things in the future. So, however awesome I think it looks, don't get your hopes up, unfortunately. As I said, you can notice issues with if you look at things like the hand, the item in the hand. The model, the player isn't moving, it is the model moving. This creates a lot of issues, and this will create even more issues with riders where, like, tacky. Yep. Is it tacky? Tackle. Tackle? Tackle. Electrical human tackle? Yeah! Yeah, close enough. It will cause issues with tackle as well as some of the ride comments, because currently the way I do it is I make the player invisible, meaning I can make the armor as small or as thin as I want. But with those riders, I make parts of the model visible, so you can still see it with the suit and things like that. This way of doing it will not work with them, and it will cause a lot of issues. That way is currently how I do rider kicks. I need to work out a way to animate the player model, not the armor. And until I work that out, I don't think I'm going to be able to add proper animations. As I said, with this update, it is a lot of experimenting. That's one of the reasons we have things like the particles going on. It is me experimenting to see what I can do, what I cannot do. And I unfortunately don't think player animations is something I am going to be able to achieve. Unfortunately. So let's move on. What else has been added? As I said, we've got that. We've got a few new gav forms. We've got those particles. But I think the thing I need to show off next is the Gotchi pod. Now, I just grabbed a Gotchi pod, but this is the one I'm on about, the Gotchi pod empty. This is going to be directly linked to how we get the Gotchi pod. Now, ignore the weird names that's on the screen. That's because I've not sorted out the lang yet, as well as ignore the fact that it's missing the texture. I spent a lot of time setting up this code last night, and the idea is you would craft this, and then let's just grab a bunch of these, bunch of these, bunch of these, bunch of those, couple of you, let's grab you, and let's grab you. Now, if anyone knows the Gotchi pod in the show, essentially it can store up to 100 Gotchizo, and when it's full, then Gav can enter the forms. Now, the way I decided to do this is you can put the Gotchizo into the pod, you can't get them out. But as you can see, if I go boom, there's some that can enter, some that can't. It's a bit weird the way this works, but as you can see, it's slowly building up. You can see it's got 26 in it there. If you can see just above my head, I'll point to it with the point on my head. 26. It says 26, and let's just grab a whole bunch more. Now, as I said, there's some that you can't put in it. As you can see, you can't put Blizzard in there because Blizzard's just going to be obtained in a more complicated way. You can put Cake in there. How many short? We're 9 short. Okay. Let's just put a whole bunch of Kung Fu Ramen in there. As you can see, it didn't put the full amount. It just took what it needed to get up to 100. And as soon as it hit 100, it actually turned into the form change item for the Gotchi pod. I coded these as 2 separate items just to make it a bit less confusing and a bit more easier to code. So this is going to be how you get the Gotchi pod. Now, the crafting for the empty Gotchi pod, we currently got ideas, but we're still working on it. We have the granite tooth, which is going to be a thing that you get from the mobs that you can melt down to make granite glass, which is how you get the Gotchi pod. I also want to link in Caking and Blizzard just because they are the super forms. But let me know what you think and give me some ideas for the crafting recipes. I probably don't say this enough, but every comment, all kind of ideas and feedback you leave in the comments, I do read it. Even if I don't reply, I do always read it, and I do always appreciate it. Now, is there anything else that I have done over the last week which I want to show off? Because there are other things that have been worked on. As I said, there are a few new Gotchard things. There are a few new forms. But I kind of don't want to spend too much time going, well, this is how this form looks like. Okay, this is how this form looks like. So instead of doing that, I am just going to say, download this update when it comes out and let me know what you think. Even though that update might be like a month from now. This is going to be a big update. So if you've enjoyed this for even a split second, please do consider hitting the like button and subscribing if you're not already. Any and all support is so greatly appreciated, and trust me, it is greatly appreciated. So till next time, goodbye.